We've been now for 4 days in tech rehearsal here at the Longacre Theatre. It's only another 10 days before our first preview, and it's a slow process.
I'm counting down the days. We've got 6 days till first preview.
We're running out of time, as is always the case, but well, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
This fall, the curtain rises on Allegiance, a new musical inspired by my own true life story. The team behind Allegiance is doing whatever it takes to open a musical on Broadway. Here is our story.
I'm dead. I'm destroyed, exhausted. They tell you to prepare, but nothing quite can prepare you for not just the amount of work, but the feeling of pressure of so much that you know still needs to happen. And everyone is coming at you with different ideas and thoughts and feedback, and you've got your own, and there are all the things that we know we need to fix and we can't. And then you realize that to make a small change takes such a long time, and you just. But you know, it's first preview. We practically have 3 weeks worth of real work we can do on the show before the show gets frozen and press comes. With every single new audience member that comes into the house and experiences the story, there's a little bit more of a chance that we get to learn what works and what doesn't. And that's what previews are for.
Everybody's nervous. And, it would be crazy if they weren't nervous, because frankly, there's an awful lot riding on the whole show for everyone. And tonight's a very special night. It's the first time we've actually played before a paying audience since San Diego. So it's a very big deal for everybody concerned with the show.
Because it's only going to happen once.
It's the very first,
this very first ever Broadway performance of Allegiance.
But we hope annual.
Yes, but we hope annual.
I've been too slammed to actually start to process. And so it's only now when I hugged the actors and wished them luck tonight that I realized that we're going to start in like 40 minutes or something crazy like that. And so it's just now starting to sink in.
The nervousness is part of the joy, because I am going to be that much more alert. I'm in control of my nervousness. It's when you don't control your nervousness that it takes over.
The last 24 hours has felt like a week, totally. I almost just broke down crying in a bathroom stall. I don't know, I'm like, just curious, like very curious to see what people think.
Look at yourself, Sam.
I'm not that kid anymore.
During a preview period, there's so much stimulus coming at you. You get the stimulus of what's happening on the stage, and that's lights, sound, text, connection, narrative, blocking. It's all there.
It's such a delicate balance. It's a balancing act of humor and tragedy and joy and movement and dance and music that was written a long time ago and yet moved people, and music that's brand new and it feels exciting, but is it better? We don't know. It hasn't been in front of an audience.
Then you get the reaction and the stimulus and the vibe from the audience. Are they with you or they aren't with you? And you can feel it. And so after, a preview performance, the authors and I and the team will sit down and we'll talk about what we felt.
I'll get to work right away.
Thank you so much.
Can I take a picture with you?
Where were you sitting?
Front of the mezzanine.
And how
Not
did you
quite.
how did you feel? I mean,
I-
we're back here, so I don't know if they're crying, laughing,
No, I
sobbing.
mean
or-
people were crying, and yeah, at the end of the show, they were crying.
The humor landed a lot better today.
Yeah, I do think that Act One has too much humor.
It does defy reason to say, God, the audience is enjoying themselves too much at this show. Better fix that. I mean,
I do feel that maybe there are one or two too many jokes in Act One.
As in the spirit of what we've been doing, let's try a performance without them.
trying to create a serious, substantive, uplifting experience is not only my personal mission as an artist, but it's also the mission of this entire team. But that means we're trying to create an experience that's like a roller coaster with highs and lows, and that the audience is weeping, but then they're also laughing out loud at the sheer joy and funniness of the spirit of these people. It's very hard to keep the center when you're doing that. So we have to constantly figure out how to be able to manipulate that in a way that feels organic, to be able to have a complete experience.
You know, my fear, I'm terrified of messing with the things that really worked. If you do something and the show is not going to behave emotionally in the same way, is that because the audience is different, or is it because the show is different? And God, it's a lot, and it's all coming at you at once.
The cruel truth of being on Broadway and trying to succeed on Broadway, you have to sell 1,000 seats a night. So you have to please 8,000 people. And you have to please 8,000 people enough that they then tell their friends. So you have to be pretty damn great. Like, it really has to be an experience in order for you to say to somebody, you have to be there. And we've got 2 more weeks before we freeze the show. So a lot can change.